Okay, this is the little video is going to be about the typhoid outbreak in the 1890s in San Antonio. Now here is the San Antonio Botanical Garden, and at the highest point of the gardens is this amphitheater. Now this amphitheater back in the 1890s was a reservoir at the highest point in old San Antonio. So they had a minor water crisis, and they decided, and they didn't really understand how aquifers worked. They didn't realize that the San Antonio, the Edwards Aquifer is basically a small Great Lake full of water, and that all they really had to do was dig the wells down about another 30 or 40 feet, and they would have hit water again. So, well-meaning politicians after the drought decided to build this above-ground aquifer, this above-ground storage facility, and the walls have fallen in here. The cistern actually went down about another 7 or 8 feet. It's filled in with soil, and like I said, this was the high point of downtown San Antonio, and because it was exposed to the air, you could bugs got into it, dead animals got into it, and a little bit of human waste got into it, and it festered into a place that had it was the source of the typhoid outbreak. Now right over this, right over this hill, if you go down, you would go into a thing that no longer exists called the San Pedro River. Now I'm going to switch to an old picture of the San Pedro River here and continue on. So hold on here. So this is the old San Pedro River here. Now this is circa 1925. So this is a good 40 years afterwards. And they had built up the bank here. The San Pedro River actually doesn't exist anymore. When I was a kid, my dad used to take me off of it actually crossed underneath I-10 near downtown, and you could fish off of it. But because of drainage problems, health concerns, and all kinds of other stuff, they actually diverted the river and killed this branch. And it's filled in, doesn't exist anymore. This old photo is about a baptism in the San Pedro River from 1925. And people, and by this time they had already enacted some of the laws, the fears of polio and such, so you couldn't do a whole lot of stuff in the river anymore. And by the way, this is an original gold weight. And there he is with his first panoramic camera. Took a picture of it. Excuse me, that's a normal photographer. The gold weight's actually back. But so this part of the town doesn't even exist anymore. So anyway, the area that I'm talking about, it came down this hill and got into the river. Well, at the time, like I said, these reinforced banks didn't exist. That was 40 years earlier. And what happened, people would wash their clothes, they would bathe in here, they would use it for drinking water in the time of drought, and but mainly to wash clothes in such, and they'd get the water in there. They really understand sterilization techniques, and they'd cook with it, whatever, if they didn't have a well nearby or out of convenience. And they would that's where the typhoid outbreak came down. Now, not only did it come down into this river, but it also traveled downtown. I don't have a picture of downtown San Antonio on me from 1890. This is one of Alamo Plaza around 1920. So you're gonna see this is another gold weight, the panoramic shot there, and there's the Alamo at the time. So the area that this is coming from is right around there. It's either that hill or that hill. Anyway, so that's the coming down, and then somewhere down in here is the San Pedro River, and it during a flood, you know, it would drain down into the downtown area. If you notice where Almost Dam is, that was to stop flooding from downtown. Well, it meandered down, got into the San Antonio River from the San Pedro River, and killed a bunch of people back then. So next time you're at the San Antonio Botanical Gardens and you're at the very highest point of it, you'll see the amphitheater, and that was an above ground cistern. Well-meaning politicians, which they all are, they're all idiots though, caused the outbreak. If they never would have done it, there probably wouldn't have been an outbreak. So we have a lot of those well-meaning politicians now. And anyway, thank you. That's all I've got. Please subscribe, share this if you could. Like it would even be better. And I have a website called timbosplace.com for more. And thank you. I have other YouTube channels if you're interested in weird stuff. I do have a lot of weird things that I cover. I have Patrick Moynihan on YouTube, Pat Moynihan, Edward Moynihan, and Tim Moynihan. Thank you, and I'm out. Oh, by the way, here's the old Joskies building, which doesn't exist anymore. If you're ever in Brackenridge Park, you'll see the Joskies Pavilion. It was named after this real famous department store that was downtown, and the family that had it. So that's all I got. Thanks. I'll see you later.